We are gonna swim with the biggest sharks on the planet, the whale sharks.
The fishing boats are a bit further away from the anchorage than we anticipated.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Are you scared?
I'm very scared. Whale sharks, they're actually calling that big fish, and they just say ikan besar. That was by far the most exhilarating, crazy, scary experience of my entire life. It's right there.
The manta is too thin, you don't fit. Well, those ones, they are so thick.
You fit. Exciting day. We are on our way to Namatota Island, where we're gonna go to try and see whale sharks. Not sure if we're gonna see any, and also am I gonna want to jump in the water with that big monster? Like, I've read online that you're not supposed to swim in front of their mouths because of the suction. They suck on the water to eat, and apparently the suction is quite strong, and I don't want to be eaten. I don't know, it's exciting and it's stressful at the same time. What do you think? Would you do it? Would you swim with a whale shark? Let us know in the comments below.
I'll be moving along, singing my song, running around, ain't nothing wrong. I live long, babe. I say, I live long, babe.
Welcome back on board Take It Easy. So you got it. Today's video is all about trying to find whale sharks. This very famous Indonesian sailing guide states that they can be found in the early morning behind the Bagans, those large fishing boats which are anchored in Namatota Strait. So that's where we are headed. First problem though, since the guide was written, the Bagans have moved outside of the strait in a spot that's too uncomfortable for us to anchor overnight. Unfortunately, we are still within an autopilot. Thankfully today there's not much distance to cover, so we should be there in about 2.5 hours. Say hello, autopilot.
Am I your autopilot?
For now, and then I'm gonna be yours.
Alright.
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to see the whale sharks, and we already have one challenge because the fishing boats are a bit further away from the anchorage than we anticipated. So I want to make sure that everything else goes smoothly. And obviously when we get there, the fishermen are going to speak Indonesian. So I thought, let's learn a little bit of Indonesian, right? So we already know how to say the basics, like good morning is selamat pagi, please and thank you, silakan and terima kasih. We kind of know how to interact with them, apa kabar, that sort of things. But then I thought stuff more specific to what we are doing. So the whale sharks, they're actually calling that a big fish, and they just say ikan besar. We're gonna ask them if there are any whale shark, where the whale shark, etc. So when, kapan? And then I anticipated a few responses, so maybe they're gonna say something like not today, or here, there. Tidak hari ini, di sini or di sana. We might have to ask where, and that is di mana. One thing that I thought would be useful is, can we swim here? Because I don't know if we can, to be honest. Bisa kami berenang. Two things that I thought is important to know if they're gonna yell danger or careful. Bahaya, hati-hati. And I think with all of that, we should be covered, at least for the basics. Let's hope that works, and let's hope we can fully interact with them and find the whale sharks.
Good morning. So we are up very early this morning, it's 6 AM, because we are about to do something very unique. We are gonna swim with the biggest sharks on the planet, which are the whale sharks. They can be up to 18 meters, but usually they are between 12 and 15 meters, which is bigger than our entire boat. Pretty scary. I don't know if I'm gonna jump in the water like that. First of all, the water is a bit murky. You don't see the bottom. And you know the sharks, they like the murky water to sneak up on you and hide and camouflage and come from behind. So having that big of a shark with you, I don't know if I'm gonna be willing to jump in the water. To do that, we have a mission. We're gonna have to take the dinghy and ride for around 3 nautical miles and find a big fishing boat. The way they fish is they have big lights around the boat. All the fish are attracted, and they have big nets, and they lift it when all the fish are under. And the thing is, those small fish, they are loved by those whale sharks. I don't want to be around a shark that's eating and that's feeding himself. Pretty scary, but let's get to it.
Ready to go?
Yeah, I am. Hop on board. Exciting. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Are you scared?
I'm very scared.
Me too. Look, the water is so dark.
Look at this. Yep, can't see anything.
Maybe there's something bigger on the boat under, and we're gonna have to jump with it while it's being fed. All right, hop on board.
Let's go! Excited!
Let's go, you said? Let's go.
Sun shining down on me. Oh, what a brand new day. Nothing can bring me down. Nothing can get in my way.
First Bagan had already stopped fishing, so no whale shark here.
I think we've got a jumper.
Selamat pagi. Halo.
Oh, il y en a là. Halo.
Halo, ikan besar? That was by far the most exhilarating, crazy, scary experience of my entire life.
This is so scary, but so beautiful. I've never seen such a big shark and such a big fish next to me.
So we had 3 of them.
Yeah, 3.
Two of them were fairly small for whale sharks.
Probably 6 to
Oh,
7.
it's right there. Swimming with that was something incredible. But at some point, you yelled in the water. My God.
I mean, I was just focused on something that turned my head, and right next to me, the big one was mouth open, and I was like, wow!
He yelled, and I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna die. My stomach turned on itself. I was so scared. And there's everything here, dolphins, birds, quite the ecosystem. Now we're gonna give these guys a bit of money and head back to the boat, I guess.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Are you ready to go?
Yes.
I think they are too. They're leaving.
Yeah. We're back on board. That was such a cool experience. The ride there on the dinghy, though, not that much fun.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
It's a long way to that spot. It's probably about 4 nautical miles. There was some swell and side swell and oh my god.
The experience.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that was just, I've never felt something like that. I think I can feel my heart pumping hard still from that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was something.
Wow.
I'm still shaking from it, and it was so exhilarating and scary and mesmerizing at the same time. It's the beauty of the shark without the dangerous aspect. Like, you know they're not going to bite you because they have no teeth.
But still, like, they come with their mouths open at you, and then they turn less than a meter away from you, but they are 10 meters long.
By the way, that suction thing, not true. No, because they were coming like with their mouths open, like very close to us, and I didn't feel any suction. So
I'm glad we did the whole trip and detour and stuff to get here. I don't think I can feel what I felt there, like, ever.
How are we gonna top that?
I don't know, but something different. When you see a manta, it's not the same feeling. It's very peaceful, beautiful. That feeling is a bit different because it feels wrong to have such a big animal right next to you.
There's not that feeling of peacefulness. There's a feeling of what's going to happen if I don't move.
The manta is not very thick.
It doesn't feel like she can swallow you.
Too thin, you don't fit. Well, those ones, they are so thick.
You fit.
Oh my god. It's hard to judge how long they were. The big one was at least 10 meters, maybe 12. I don't know.
The small ones were definitely under 8.
Yeah,
so
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
And the other
like
one
that.
probably 10 to 13.
We need a shower because
the water was filthy.
We swam in planktony, fish blood, disgusting water. We're gonna smell like fish if we don't shower. You might be wondering, but whale sharks are sharks and not whales, so fish and not mammals. So yeah, it's the biggest fish on the planet. And they are part of the few iconic species of sharks that has to keep swimming to avoid suffocating. As nomads of this world, that's something we can relate to, I guess. If you find yourself in Triton Bay, definitely something you have to do. And we've got a few tips for you. Head out as early as you can in the morning, because by 8:30, 9 AM, it seems boats aren't fishing anymore. Look for the boat with the birds at the back. It's an indication that they are fishing. You're not really going to swim much, so not sure fins are necessary, and for sure our long ones were more annoying than anything as the sharks come super close. If you want to swim with the dolphins as well, you'll need to go down to 10 meters, so freediving weight or scuba tank will be useful. Try to go more to the side of the Bagan than right behind. There will be less fish and plankton, so better visibility. We gave the guys on the boat 200,000 IDR as they kept throwing fish in the water to keep the whale sharks around for us, but I think they might have preferred cigarettes. Finally, most important tip, don't be scared. Just jump in the water and enjoy. Something crazy just happened to us. So we got boarded by Indonesian Navy. I wish I could show you, but unfortunately they forbid us to record. Essentially, we had 5 guys boarding us and wanting to check everything, paperwork of the boat, our visas, our cruising permit, etc, etc. The problem with Indonesia is that there is a law, but nobody knows it. And everybody does it differently. So in essence, when you enter Indonesia, you get a cruising permit that is valid for a certain duration of time, and you don't need to do anything. You can go everywhere where you stipulated on your cruising permit, and that's it. But in some places they said that you actually have to check in at each port, which isn't true. We tried to do that in our first port in Bandanera, and they said the same thing, like, no, the law says you don't need to, blah blah blah. Anyways, so we never did it again, and those guys thought we had to do it. So luckily we have our agent in Tual who did our cruising permit, and thank God to that guy who answered the phone on a Sunday and helped us clear everything, because otherwise I don't know what we would have done. They were apparently worried that we had illegal stuff on board, or that we had material to survey the Indonesian water. Yeah, survey equipment, which I don't even know what it would look like, to be honest. So no, we don't have any of that. But I think without the agent like really putting his name forward and saying, no, I vouch for these guys, they are just cruisers, they are doing nothing wrong in Indonesia, I don't know we would have gotten out of it. Quite a stressful moment, to say the least. Between the water police back in November, the coast guards in the last episode, and now the Navy, I feel like we've met all kind of officials who invited themselves onto a boat. But we've mentioned it before, navigating the constantly changing rules in Indonesia is a nightmare, and that's why an agent can be so useful. It definitely got us out of trouble today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe and drop us a like, and we'll see you next time. Bye!